Good day, beautiful humans. It is a dark and dreary day here in Central Oregon. It's raining. We're basically having May weather in June. It's like the whole state's a month behind. Anywho, let's talk about antioxidants today. I know I've been talking about antioxidants a lot, but it's because they're literally like the number one ingredient you can use to stay more youthful. They're like your preventative. When we use things like lighteners and brighteners, part of the ingredients are preventing pigment, but the other half is reversing damage that's already done. When we're using growth factors, regardless of the type, again, it's another one where we're trying to reverse what's been done. Antioxidants prevent the damage in the first place, and that's why they are so important. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're talking about antioxidants, and we're going to talk a lot about my oils today because of the fact that my oils naturally are extremely high in antioxidants, and technically in the skincare world, they are considered a nutraceutical. I tend to talk to them about being like medical grade because I think people understand that a little bit more. But because of the fact that I only work with unrefined oils, they're nutraceuticals. They have everything in them because they haven't been altered by man. They haven't taken all the nutrients out. So just to break down antioxidants really simply is what antioxidants do is they help the skin repair itself, okay? So they reduce inflammation, which allows the skin to then turn around and repair itself and correct visible damage that has been created. Let me go to my part where I talk about so free radicals, they're basically what they are. Free radicals are an unstable molecule. They're a molecule that's floating around that has a rogue electrons on it. And they're looking for other electrons to neutralize them, okay? And these rogue molecules, they're highly reactionary and they're prone to oxidization. So it's the free radicals that create the oxidized stress. And basically what oxidized stress is damage caused by oxygen. So some people say that oxygen, I think this is a very interesting concept. They feel that oxygen is actually poisonous to us. It just takes 70, 80, 90, 100 years for it to slowly kill us. But that is eventually why we age, we get old. There's many factors, but oxygen causing oxidized stress in our body is a huge one, okay? So because of that, we want to use antioxidants because we want to prevent the oxidization of these cells. Oxidization leads to inflammation and prevents the skin from repairing itself. It stops the whole wound healing response when our skin gets triggered and it gets stressed. By stopping the process by not neutralizing free radicals and allowing them to do their damage in your skin, it leads to hyperpigmentation, acne, cell damage, resulting in fine lines, wrinkles, things like that. So truly the reason why it is so important to wash your face at night is because we're washing off the free radicals. So when people ask me, is it really that important to wash my face twice a day? It is, bitch. It is. If you only want to wash your face once a day, it actually needs to be at night. It's not as crucial in the morning. I still think you could wash it in the morning. At nighttime is when you're getting your beauty rest and your skin's renewing and regenerating and it's pushing the toxins to the surface of the skin. We want to wash those off rather than having them go back into our tissues. So an AM cleanse is important. But the PM cleanse is free radicals are at their highest peak. They've been sticking to your skin all day long, okay? They've been sticking to it. And if you don't wash them off and neutralize them by putting antioxidants onto your tissues and things that neutralize them onto your tissues, then your skin spends all night fighting off free radical damage. It's protecting itself. And you're not getting your beauty rest. You're not renewing, regenerating. This is another reason why I talk about in the AM, you should mainly be focused on using preventatives and antioxidant serums, things that are protecting the skin from the environment, from the sun, from the UV rays and all that. And at nighttime is where you use more of your anti-aging ingredients. Because during the daytime, your skin is putting all of its energy and function in just protecting your flesh from the world. Whereas at nighttime is when you get your beauty rest. It's when you regenerate and you renew and you restore. And that's when you want to give your skin the antioxidant ingredients, the anti-aging ingredients. When you put on more anti-aging ingredients on during the day, you are getting some benefit from them. But because the skin is spending so much time trying to protect itself, it cannot utilize those anti-aging actives to their fullest potential. And that's why I highly encourage more of the heavy hitters, the more expansive anti-aging ingredients go on in the PM. It's why when people say, hey, when should I use my growth factors? I always say PM. If you want to use them in the AM, you can, but they're expensive and you're not getting near the benefit as if you are at night. If you don't mind getting half the benefit, that's fine, but make sure you're definitely using it at night because that's when the skin can regenerate and renew. Okay. So when it comes to, free radicals, this is how they're created. One, your body naturally produces them, okay? They come from sunlight, they come from pollution, which is why the double cleanse at night is so important because the first cleanse just washes off the surface of the skin. Pollution is extremely sticky and it likes to get embedded into pores and go into your pores. And you can think that your face is clean, but if you've got lots of free radicals and pollution and stuff inside your pores, it's doing damage to your skin and you don't even realize it. So this is why those Clarisonics, which I'm not a fan of, and the other type of ionic silicone devices have become so popular in the marketplace, is because those devices will vibrate the pollution and everything out of your pores so you can get the free radicals off more easily. And they're like they've done studies, right? So there's like 9 to 11 times better at cleaning your face than hand washing alone. It's also why estheticians really drill into your head. You really, ideally, should be washing your face for 2 minutes per cleanse. Most of us do 30 seconds to a minute, but it's the reason why we tell you to go so long is because pores are very hard to clean out. So free radicals are produced naturally in our body from sunlight, from pollution, environmental toxins, which to me is kind of the same as pollution, but websites like to list all this stuff, right? Tobacco, stress, and fried foods. So one of the things I learned years ago in yogic nutrition is that is the downside of fried foods. They're so yummy. They're so yummy. But as soon as they come out of the deep fryers, because of the type of oils that we choose to deep fry food in, it's at very high temperatures. There's no antioxidant left in the oils. It's just basically hot lipids. All the benefits in the antioxidants have been destroyed in the oil because of the high temperatures. As soon as you pull it out, free radicals just like stick to the fried food like immediately. They stick right to it. And so that when you consume it, you're consuming food that is just laden with free radicals. That's partly why fried food is bad for you. It's not just that it is fatty. I mean, it's delicious, but it's not that just it's fatty. It's that it's so loaded with free radicals and you're putting that into your digestive tract. So let's talk about some of the free radicals. Antioxidants. So what antioxidants do is they basically gobble up these road electrons and they neutralize them. So they hand them off an electron. Now the electrons are stable. They're not rogue. They've got a match and they're good to go now. And some of the biggest antioxidants, just so you know, when it comes to antioxidants, they're also, what was it I realized with antioxidants? Oh, they're almost all anti-inflammatory. It's the nature of antioxidants. It's because they neutralize the free radicals and free radicals are inflammatory to the system. When we talk about antioxidants, we're also talking about anti-inflammatory ingredients. The two go hand in hand. You can't really separate the two. So you've got your vitamin C, your niacinamide, your resveratrol, which is what comes from the grapes. You've got your vitamin E, you've got your vitamin A, CoQ enzyme 10, which is also known as ubiquinone. Yeah, coenzyme Q10. You got your phenols, which resveratrol is a type of phenol. The other name for the phenols is flavonoids. And the highest antioxidant foods are broccoli, spinach, carrots, potatoes, blueberries, cranberries, strawberries, raspberries, apples, plums, blackberries, raspberries. The beauty of this is I use broccoli seed oil. I tried to use spinach. It didn't work in the formulation I was using it in. Broccoli seed is found in heavier. Carrot is found in heavier. Blueberries is found in lighter and Samson. Cranberry is going to be in the bath oil that I'll be coming out with. It was in the bath salts, but I had to discontinue them because I couldn't get the oil to stay suspended in the salts. It kept dropping. I thought I invented something brilliant, and yet, no, I did not. I'm just going to have to launch the oil part of the bath salts next year and then go from there. The salts also was extremely expensive to ship. So I realized I just need to train people to add salts to their bath and use an amazing bath oil. Strawberry is in, but cranberry, it's Arctic cranberry. It's in the, it's going to be in the bath oil. Strawberry is in my lighter and heavier. Apple is in my heavier and eye care oil. Plum, cockatoo plum, it's in the vitamin C oil. So just by using my skin oils, you are getting an immense amount of antioxidant protection without even adding other antioxidant serums. Do I think you should add antioxidant serum? Yes, bitch. I don't think you can't overdo antioxidants. You can't overuse them. You can't, I mean, that's not true. I will take that back. Like, you absolutely can use too much vitamin A. If you use too much vitamin C, it won't actually go into the skin. It will just sit on the surface and create some irritation. So you can't overuse them in a way. But in general, what I mean is like, you can't really overdo it with antioxidant serums. Sometimes in the summer, I'll apply the same serum twice just to get extra protection, okay? So when it comes to the seed oils I use, because they are biological oils, they do increase the body's own antioxidant levels, which is why it becomes a nutraceutical, and it reduces antioxidant stress. So the beauty of applying these oils topically is they are going into the tissues. The skin is drinking them. They're getting in. There are receptor sites for it. The body knows what these ingredients are, and it's incorporating it into your system. In regards to my oils, like kiwi, for example, is really high in choline, lutein, and it's called zeaxanthin. Well, the beauty of choline and zeaxanthin is they're blue light blockers. So kiwi has that. So it's a very high content of kiwi in my lighter face oil. And there's like a middle of the road content of it in my heavier face oil. So by using my lighter and heavier face oils, you are getting the blue light protection by using those oils. One of the things I do really want to stress, and I know a lot of my current people that have been with me for a bit are fully aware of this, but I use unrefined oils. And the reason why I choose to work with unrefined oils and other people in the skincare industry do not is because of all this antioxidant activity. When you start filtering the oils to change the color, to change the smell, like to take things out, what you're doing is you're taking out the antioxidant content. And I do not want to take out the antioxidant content. Skincare companies prefer to work with refined oils because every time they order strawberry seed oil that's refined, it's going to look the same, feel the same, and smell the same. Okay? When I order my strawberry seed oil, sometimes it comes green. One time it came super light pink. Sometimes it's super strong in strawberry aroma. Sometimes the strawberry aroma is different. Sometimes there's hardly any strawberry aroma. Like if it's a winter bearing strawberry, if it was strawberries grown more in the wintertime, they're not full of the flavonoids as much as the summertime strawberries. So they're inconsistent, which is why the beauty industry doesn't like working with them, is they can't be controlled. They like to add fragrance to everything, so they want to control what things smell like. And as you know, sometimes you'll get my heavier oil and it'll be more green. Sometimes you'll get my heavier oil and it's going to be more blue. They're not consistent. Nature's not consistent. That's why I choose to work with these oils. They're also twice as much money. I think why unrefined oils are more money is there's not near as many used. Because refined oils are actually more in demand in the marketplace. Even though unrefined is cheaper to make, it's harder to get because most people are refining it. And then the other thing is it's not as shelf stable. Those antioxidants will start going bad on you. Like if lighter seed oil, it's my most delicate of my oils. If it gets too hot for a long period of time, it'll lose its scent. It'll start smelling kind of like straw. It's not that it's gone bad, it's just that the antioxidants have been destroyed. You still have benefits with the lipid content. It's still going to be hydrating. You're going to still get some of the benefit of the oils for sure, but not as much as when it actually still smelled like strawberries. If you are using my oils and you're not able to get through the 30 milliliter size in a year, you need to go down to the 15 milliliter size. You're not saving yourself money if the oil goes bad and you have to throw it out, okay? So we talked about the choline, lutein, and zeaxanthin found in kiwi. The lutein in zeaxanthin protects against high energy, so like blue light, UV rays, and it protects against oxidization damage. We didn't have cucumber, which is really high in beta carotene and manganese. Beta carotene, as you know, is nature's form of vitamin A. And manganese, even though it's a little bit more of a mineral, it balances blood sugar levels. So it's going to help with glycation in the tissues. And glycation in the tissues is where you get the lines going this way and the lines going this way, where your skin kind of starts looking a little bit more like a grid rather than just lines going in one direction or the other. Glycation is not reversible in the tissues. It's why they talk about sugar being so bad for your skin. So sugar actually locks into, if you have insulin issues in your skin, those sugars will lock into receptor sites in your skin, and it causes the collagen and elastin to like basically scar, like become hard and brittle and break. And that's why you get that look in your cheeks. So, the manganese is a mineral that prevents against that. It's found in cucumber. But also this is why I choose to work with milk thistle oil, which is the second ingredient in heavier oil and my eye care oil, because it prevents this whole glycation issue. Manganese balances blood sugar levels. It reduces oxidized stress. And you need manganese for your skin to produce the amino acid proline. And proline is essential to collagen formulation. Okay. So some of the other ones are, I got prickly pear oil, which has beta cytosterol in it, which is an antioxidant. It's antibacterial. I also work with gallic acid is also found in multiple of the oils, a handful of the oils. Gallic acid is also a tyrosinase inhibitor. It reduces DNA damage. It lightens the sunspots and uneven eye circles under the eyes. Strawberry seed oil has ellagic acid. So does the cucumber. It's also lightens and brightens, and it's also a tyrosinase inhibitor. What are some of the other ones? I was trying to go fast here. I think that may have been all the major ones. I have been trying to now for a while figure out exactly how many antioxidants are in my formulations. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of antioxidants in the world. I would put my face oils, each bottle is going to contain anywhere between 80 up to like 150 antioxidants per formulation. The problem is anytime I try to research what antioxidants are found in the oils, all I do is get all these things just saying antioxidants, 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 lots of antioxidants, and they'll highlight like one or two of them. I actually can't get a list. So at some point I am going to send my oils off and be tested for their antioxidant content. That's not something I can afford right now. When you send stuff off to a lab, something like that's going to cost me $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 just to have it analyzed for me to be able to make the claim of exactly how many oxidants are in the formulation. But it's definitely way up there. Rolling back to antioxidants in general, I highly encourage people to use antioxidant serums. I personally use them in abundance with the oils. Again, you can't use too many antioxidants, okay? Somebody's asking if I can get them in Australia. You can if you email me. I actually have a couple clients I ship to in Australia. If you just send me an email of the list of things that you want on my website, I will send you an invoice and then the exact shipping charges, and you absolutely can order. You just got to communicate with me directly. Okay, so when it comes to the antioxidant serums, the ones that cosmetics makes, we've talked about these ones before on another live I did a while ago. There's a Firm, there's Radiance, and there's Papoxide. So a Firm is for everyone. Every human being can use a Firm. It's now placed more as being a little bit more for normal to oily skin, but it used to be the only antioxidant serum they made. My grandmother's 85 years old, has dry skin, and we live in the high desert. She's used all of them, and a Firm is still her favorite. It smells like sandalwood. It's a beautiful serum. It has over 10 antioxidants in it, and then it also has a firming peptide in it. You can use it day or night. I personally think it belongs more in your morning routine. The only time I recommend people use it at night is if they don't really have a nighttime serum. Radiance is more for your normal to drier skin types. The difference is it doesn't have as many antioxidants in it, but it does have trehalose and sodium hyaluronate in it, so it has the hydrators in it. So when people are like, I'm feeling kind of dry, I need more hydration into my routine, lots of times what I'll do is I'll have them switch from like Affirm to Radiance. So that way they're kind of getting a 2-in-1 serum with Radiance, and they're not having to add a second product to their routine. And then the third one is Papoxide. I don't have that one here right now. The third one is Papoxide, and Papoxide is going to be, it has 14 lighteners and brighteners in it. Not lighteners and brighteners, that's a lie. It's got 14 antioxidants in it. So it has more antioxidants in it than the Affirm. But then it also has some UV protectors, and it's going to help a little bit more with, basically it's got some tyrosinase inhibitors in it as well. Is it sold as a lightener brightener? No. The lightening and brightening aspects of Papoxide are more of supportive ingredients. They're not the key ingredients. But those are the three. If people who aren't sure, or they love more earthy products, or like, I use my intuition a lot, but the majority of people I put into Affirm. If you tend to be more dry, I put you in Radiance. Like for me, I use Radiance a lot in the winter, and then Affirm and Papoxide more in the summer. And then if you have somebody that has sun damage or is in the sun a lot, people who spend time on the boats, people spend time camping, things like that, then I tend to put them into the Papoxide. That's kind of how I break it up. But then I also have clients use my Brilliant C&E oil, which is basically like an antioxidant serum. And then I still have them use my face oils, whether it's lighter, heavier, eye care, all over the face. You're going to get extra antioxidant protection with that. My oils in regards to antioxidants, because of what I work with, I feel are just as therapeutic and medical grade as the fancy finished serums. The differences in my oils that I make, they are naturally occurring antioxidants. They're from nature. They're grown from nature. They're put into the oils from nature. Whereas a lot of the finished skincare we get, even though it's plant-based, it is manipulated it's manipulated by man in a lab. They're having to extract it. They're having to use solvents. They're having to do things to it to get those antioxidants out so that they then can put them in a skincare formulation. So if you're wanting to be like way more hippy-dippy, way more organic and natural with your skincare, your best way to get the antioxidants is through unrefined face oils. I cannot stress that enough. If you are working with refined oils, and you are, if it doesn't say unrefined on the bottle, people who work with unrefined oils are very clear that it's unrefined because we want you to know that the good shit is in there. The other thing is that the majority of skincare companies, and this is my biggest pet peeve, especially the ones that make face oils, is they make claims on their face oils based on research that's done on the unrefined oils. But then they turn around and use refined oils. So a lot of the claims that they're making on, you'll have a company and they're like, oh my gosh, we add kiwi oil to my formulation. It is loaded in lutein. This is what's so amazing about lutein. And then they'll go on and on and on about all the benefits of lutein because it's an amazing ingredient. But they're basing that on the fact that they believe that lutein is in the refined oil that they're using. And they've never actually had the refined oil that they're using tested to make sure the lutein wasn't filtered out. So their claims are kind of bogus. It's why when you go to my page, and I may change this eventually just because of how marketing goes, but when you go to my page and read about my face oils, I don't go on and on and on about gallic acid or azelaic acid, beta carotene. I don't go on about those because of the fact that for me, it's kind of a given. I'm working with, and I know the public doesn't know this, but I'm working with unrefined oils. Of course, those ingredients are in there, and I don't want to be manipulative by picking up one ingredient, going on and on about all the benefits there are, because that's kind of how my competitors are doing it. And I don't like how they're doing it because they don't even know if the ingredient they're talking about is actually in there. So I just tend to be like, they're loaded, because the list just goes on and on. I know I talked about a handful of them today, but the list of antioxidants in my formulations do go on and on. I just can't find access to all of them yet without throwing a ton of money at it, but I will get there. Some of the questions were like, how do I fade the sunspots? Antioxidants. So antioxidants are going to help prevent the spots from forming. They allow your skin to tolerate more trauma, basically. Also tyrosinase inhibitors and lighteners and brighteners. If I was going to try to get my pigment to even out on my skin, I wouldn't buy an antioxidant serum. I would buy a lightener and brightener serum. The thing with lighteners and brightener serums is if it's a good one, they have multiple ingredients in them to combat the pigmentation from a day standpoint and a night standpoint, to fade what's already there and to prevent it from forming in the first place. every single lightener and brightener serum that Cosmetics makes technically can also be considered an antioxidant serum as well, because a lot of the lighteners and brighteners are also antioxidants, but not all antioxidants are lighteners and brighteners, if that makes sense. So I still incorporate both. I use antioxidant serums. I use lightener and brighteners to help spots fade and things like that. But if you're like, I want to prevent spots, if I really want to protect my skin from the environment, you need to lean more heavily on antioxidants. And if you're wanting to like even out your pigment and your skin tone, you need to lean more heavier on your lighteners and brighteners. Last week, sorry, my asthma's kicking up. Last week I talked about Revert. It's a phenomenal new lightener and brightener that Cosmetics makes. Technically, it's also an antioxidant serum. It's loaded. If you are a girl on a budget or a boy if you are a person on a budget and you really want to keep your skincare routine tight and small, I would purchase Revert and call it my lightener and brightener and my antioxidant serum. Do I treat it as that? No. My skin looks this good at 43 because I've been throwing product at it like crazy for the last 10 years. I've really started picking up on my serums in the last 3 years. I used to think you could only use like one serum in the AM and one serum in the PM. And then I started following Melissa Berg, the beauty nurse, and realized I was way wrong. I can actually pile on as many products as I want to and then still get the benefits from them. But in general, the reason why I've been using antioxidants since I was 25, like where the serum was counted as an antioxidant serum, since I was about 25. I started using lighteners and brighteners when I was 35. I used to think I didn't need them because I didn't have spots yet. Big no-no. You use them so you don't get the spots in the first place. The other question is options besides vitamin C. So many things are an antioxidant. Vitamin C is an amazing one. It is crucial. It's one of the most important vitamins, antioxidants that your body needs that it doesn't produce. It's used in so many different ways inside the body. It's used to produce collagen and elastin. It's part of every vein. It's part of every artery. It's part of every capillary. Like vitamin C is absolutely essential, which is why that one gets leaned on a lot, but you really kind of want to hit it at different angles. So you want to so just remember niacinamide. It's really popular in skincare. It does change your skin. It's being researched more and more. It's getting up there to be like vitamin A. It does keep your skin more youthful and more healthy. It's also, niacinamide is vitamin B3 or B6. It's one of the B vitamins, but it's also an antioxidant. Okay, same with vitamin A. We all know that retinol, retinoic acid, retinoaldehyde, those are supposed to keep us young and beautiful. We're only supposed to really use them at nighttime. Vitamin A, but it's also an antioxidant. It has antioxidant properties. So most nutrient active, whether it's even vitamins and minerals, can come across as antioxidants. So you just want to look for formulations that say they have antioxidants in them. You can look for direct things like the choline, the ellagic acid, the gallic acid, vitamin C, vitamin A. But in general, when I look for an antioxidant serum, I want multiples. I want my antioxidants hit at different things. For example, with vitamin C, your skin can only absorb up to 35% vitamin C. So if you're just focusing on vitamin C and you're putting, up to like 40% concentrations, after 35%, there's no receptor site left for the vitamin C to fit into at that moment. It can only absorb so much. And then someone asked, can the Brilliant C&E oil that I make, this guy, be used AM and or PM? I say both. And the reason why I say that is because, again, vitamin C is one of the most crucial things you can put on your skin. The other thing, it's super, especially with my Brilliant C&E, it's not like L-lactic acid is a beautiful ingredient. It was the gold standard for vitamin C on our skin until tetrahexadecyl-ascorbate was created. The difference is tetrahexadecyl-ascorbate is L-ascorbic acid that's had a gas molecule added to it. So the body recognizes it as L-ascorbic acid. It fits in the same receptor site. It doesn't have to convert. It goes right in. But it's actually better at stimulating collagen production than L-ascorbic acid is on its own. The other thing is L-ascorbic acid, because it has to be acidic, you have to have a pH ideally of 3.5% or less for it to go into the tissues. Tetrahexadecyl-ascorbate, because it's a lipid, does not have that pH issue. And then also it can be combined with vitamin A. So normally they would tell you that you should always put vitamin C on in the AM and vitamin A on in the PM, because vitamin A has to go on to the PM, AM. It makes you more sun sensitive. And vitamins, and it's more of a higher pH to get it to go into the skin. Whereas L-ascorbic acid has to be in acidic state for it to penetrate. So the two ingredients kind of fight each other on a pH level. It's why people will say that retinoic acid and L-ascorbic acid shouldn't be used at night together. They can cause irritation issues, yada, yada, yada. Tetrahexadecyl ascorbate loves vitamin A. They're both lipids. They actually support each other. So this is one of the vitamin A products, not vitamin A. This is a vitamin C product that you can mix with retinols. There's retinoids. There's no issue. And you can use it AM and PM. If you only want to use it once a day, I would say use it in the AM. But for me, I use this AM and PM. Not only is it loaded with bioavailable vitamin C, it has one of the highest concentrations of tetrahexadecyl ascorbate in the formulation on the market. I have it in here at 7%, which is quite high for a facial product. The majority of companies that are working with tetrahexadecyl ascorbate are putting 0.5% in and then saying, we use tetrahexadecyl ascorbate. When I did my studies on this particular ingredient, the studies I found was doing it anywhere between 0.5% up to 10%, okay? The 0.5% gave you some vitamin C benefit. Like they started seeing results right at that percentage, but they really started seeing the kick up in collagen and like the collagen synthesis and production around that 3-4%, which is why I went with 7%, because I felt like between 5 and 10 was the best significant results. They haven't really studied it past 10%. I felt between 5 and 10% was the most significant results, and it's an expensive ingredient to work with. So I went in the middle of the road and I went 7% on it. But there's multiple products out there that were like, oh, we use Tetrax, do we use it? And then I'm like, what percentage is it? And they're like 0.5, point decimal 0.5. No, to me, I get that technically they can call it a therapeutic dose, but can you? Like it's such a minimal amount. The other thing is that when you combine vitamin C with vitamin E and ferulic acid, vitamin E automatically makes vitamin C work 8-fold better. And ferulic acid automatically makes vitamin C work 4-fold better. So this particular vitamin C oil, that's why I call it medical grade. It is truly a nutraceutical. It has everything in the formulation to support it to get the best outcome on your skin. She's not messing around. She's going to be any vitamin C serum that has ferulic and vitamin E in it is automatically going to be a superior formulation, period. It's why SkinCeuticals CE and ferulic has been such a popular and very expensive. Like it's still, like people swear by this serum. It's $140. It probably costs about 10 cents to make. It's very inexpensive. They're not using tetrahexadecyl ascorbate at all. They're using ascorbic acid. I think it's L-ascorbic acid. And the ferulic acid. It's a very, very simple formulation. It's very inexpensive. But this actually is more potent. I actually put more ferulic acid in it. It does have 0.5% ferulic acid in it, which is what SkinCeuticals also has. But then I used black currant seed oil. And the whole reason black currant seed oil is in here is because they've done studies on how naturally occurring its own ferulic acid in. Like I found multiple studies where they specifically were testing the ferulic acid in a black currant seed oil because it was so high. It's why on the packaging it has a greater sign, 0.5%, because there is more than that in there. I just don't know what it is yet because I haven't had it tested. And then there's tons of vitamin E in it because I used the unrefined carrier oils, and every single one of those carrier oils I used naturally has high vitamin E content. So I didn't have to add it in. Whereas like the SkinCeuticals one, there's 8 different naturally occurring forms of vitamin E on the planet, but they only make one synthetic one, and that's toxoferol. That's the one you're going to find in all skincare. The problem with adding synthetic toxoferol to the formulation is for some people, the synthetic one can exacerbate their acne as well. So I just don't work with, if I can find it in nature, I'm not going to work with this synthetic ingredient. And so that's why it's in the carrier oils and I didn't have to add it to the formulation. So yeah, you can use it AM and PM. Does anybody have any more questions about antioxidants? I just want to make it super clear that you can use my face oils and count those as their antioxidants and not add other ones in. You're way better off using like unrefined face oils than you are refined face oils. Like if you have refined face oils at home, I'm not 100% sure I would count those as antioxidant serums if it hasn't had them added, okay? But with these ones, because they're so naturally occurring, they technically do kind of count as an antioxidant serum. But I still think you should use antioxidant serums. You can't use too many. You just really can't. They're the most important thing in your skincare routine. When I start young people out in skincare, when they're 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, the first thing I put them in the AM that's what I put them in as an antioxidant serum. They can just use the face oils if they'd like, but if they want like a serum step, that step 2, that treatment step, it's an antioxidant serum if they don't have acne. All right. Does anyone have any questions before I go? Thank you all so much for listening and sharing your time and energy with me. I greatly appreciate it as always. All right, everyone. Light and love to you all. Mwah! Check out my oils if you haven't already.